Hello and welcome to Mad About Sports. And today we are going to be covering the second IPL team. As you already know, the IPL is around the corner. So our previews for the IPL season have begun. And of course, today is the second IPL team we have in store for you. And it is none other than the Whistle Army, the four-time IPL champions, the Lions Den as they call it, the team from Chennai. It is Chennai Super Kings because last time around they did not have the best of seasons. They ended up being second last on the table. They had a disastrous season, a lot of confusion in the captaincy role. MS Dhoni had to be back in the captaincy helms. So we're going to be talking about what they did wrong last season and what they can do better this season to make them a very good team and to go on to get their fifth title. Can they do it or not? Let's find out. So, of course, let's understand what did CSK do wrong last season, isn't it? Because last season was all about uh, a disaster class, one can say so, because there were a lot of confusion 2 days prior to the IPL. MS Dhoni announced that he wouldn't be captaining Chennai Super Kings. So that was the worst news they could have gotten off to. But from there on, it just did not go well for them. They had to appoint Ravindra Jadeja as the captain. Of course, Ravindra Jadeja has been a phenomenal player for this team over a period of time, and he's definitely done a lot of good work for this team as well. So, of course, that he was the better or best suited option for the team at that point of stage. And from there on, deciding a correct playing 11 was a major issue because it was the first ever time they were lining up after that mega auction which took place earlier in 2022. So of course the core group they tried to maintain it, but still most of their core players were definitely fading away. In 2018, going back 2018, when this team came back after a ban, when they put up a lineup or when they put up a squad, a lot of people had an opinion or a feeling that this is a squad just for a season, and they definitely had to revamp from 2019 season. But from there on, they went on to win three. They went on to be part of three IPL finals, and they went on to win two of them. So it was definitely not about a futuristic plan about CSK. It was all about that particular season with Chennai Super Kings, and of course, they made a royal comeback, isn't it? Winning the 2018 season, getting all the fans back, getting all that affection and love which they missed for those 2 years. And 2021, once again, 2020 was a disastrous season for Chennai Super Kings. Once again, the debates and once again, the question marks regarding whether this team is good enough or whether this team is the best suited when it comes to the age bracket was again up in hearing. Then once again, this team came back roaring back. In 2020, they faced a larger slump in terms of facing some big players being removed out of the squad. You saw players with the likes of Shane Watson had to be removed out of the squad because he was definitely towards the latter end. Harbhajan Singh was one of the other players as well who definitely did not really fit into the mix of things. Imran Tahir was another player, but they still maintain that okay, they can try out some new players and really find a new core in themselves. In 2021, when they returned, they found Ruturaj Gaikwad, who became a shining star for Chennai Super Kings. He became a boyhood hero for a lot of the Chennai fans across the world because he was the difference in 2022-21 when they went on to win the IPL. He, alongside Faf du Plessis, scored in excess of 600 plus runs to help them clinch their fourth IPL title. Then, what really went wrong in 2022 for this team? Let's find out. Let's understand by picking up the win loss ratio first up to start off with. How did they go about it? Because that's the only way we're going to find out how bad they had, especially batting first and bowling second. Um, of course, let's start off by talking about batting first. Now, on the left hand side, you have how they only had total of what? They only had total of 3 wins in the entire season, and they had 11 losses. Now, that in itself is not a great indicator, isn't it? So on the right hand side, you have whenever they're bowled first, and in the left hand side, you have whenever they've batted first as well. So in the whenever they're batted first, they've never been a team who've always liked to bat first. But in Chepauk, definitely they love to put up scores on the board and they've looked to defend it as always. But in surfaces which has been good for batting, they've always struggled to defend, and that's been Chennai Super Kings' biggest weakness, one can say so, because of the fact that they did not have some of the main players playing. Maybe this graphic is not the most important thing which might suggest you. Let's go to the next graphic, which is their best batters or batting versus bowling, to understand where they really went about and where it really went down for them. Now, the metrics, what you have on screen on the left hand side is batting first. What was their run rate batting first? Now, while batting first, they've scored close to 9 runs per over to get them in close to 170, 190 on most of the occasions. But they've also lost next to 6 wickets, 5.7 wickets per match is what they had through the course of 14 games. Now, the second metric which you have on the screen is while bowling first, how many runs have they conceded? Now, often what you need to understand is when you're considering the batting first metric, let's look at the extreme right. That is the bowling second metric. They've conceded only 8.47 runs per over, and they've also picked up what 6.75 runs per wicket. That's a metric which they've done pretty well. Now, bowling first, they have they've conceded close to 8.47 runs per over and picked up close to 6 wickets a game. And batting second is where they've really struggled, one can say so, this time around, because they've not been able to score a lot of runs. And also they've lost close to 8 wickets. Now, a team like Chennai Super Kings, who really consider themselves to be one of the best chasers, what really happened to them? They have a lot of experience in their town, likes of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who came at number 7 more often than not. Ravindra Jadeja, Shivam Dube, they had Robin Uthappa last season, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Devon Conway. What really went wrong for a team like that, who had so many good players who are experienced and are experienced enough to chase some of the big totals as well? Now, that is where the question mark really lied on Chennai Super Kings while batting second. They really did struggle as a team to really get going, especially. They really found themselves in a big hole in middle overs, lost a lot of wickets in the middle overs, did not get that tempo going, had heavy reliance on Ruturaj Gaikwad. Remember, Ruturaj Gaikwad, after that 600 run season, was considered to be that man to really take Chennai Super Kings to the next level. But was the expectation and burden on him really bowing him down? That maybe one could definitely say so. And also, a lot of bowlers did find technical deficiency in him, trying to bowl outside the off stump in the initial over, trying to move it slightly. And remember, last IPL was held in Mumbai, Pune, and majorly in Mumbai, in some of the games in Pune as well. Most of those wickets earlier on did do a little bit for the Pacers, especially in the day and night games, and that really put Ruturaj Gaikwad in a lot of trouble. In Pune, definitely, where Ruturaj Gaikwad is based in, that's Ruturaj Gaikwad's home ground. That's where he found better to bat in. And some of the grounds, especially in Wankhede, playing in some of the games in DY Patil as well, he did really struggle to get going with his initial trigger moments, him trying to fish outside the off stump, getting nicked off. So these were some of the issues which he was facing the last season, and the fast ballers up front did make the most out of it. And that was possibly Chennai Super Kings' worst nightmare, not having that bank in Ruturaj Gaikwad to score 600 runs. Obviously, they had a Moin Ali. Obviously, they had someone like a Ravindra Jadeja, but definitely Chennai Super Kings' most successful seasons over the years have come when their top 3 or the top 2 scores a lot of runs, and then they really have the middle order to come and give that final flourish. And that's something which was missing, and especially in chases, they definitely lacked a calm head of Afaf du Plessis alongside Ruturaj Gaikwad, who used to be on autopilot mode in 2021, which they really missed in 2022. So one can say batting second was the biggest issue for the Chennai Super Kings last season, and also batting first, not really having the ideal target in the mind, especially when it comes to setting up wide targets. Now let's go to another parameter to understand who are the best batters, to understand where they really went wrong, isn't it? Uh, Now, if you look, the most ones the entire IPL season has been scored by Ruturaj Gaikwad as well. Now, that's very funny, isn't it? We did speak about Ruturaj Gaikwad not having the best of seasons, but ultimately, Ruturaj Gaikwad went on to score most number of runs as well. That's also because Ruturaj Gaikwad went on to score 100 in one of the games where they went on to play. On a very good wicket in Pune, when Ruturaj Gaikwad scored that 100, majority of the runs did come from that 100. Now, if you look at Ruturaj Gaikwad's strike rate, it's slightly underwhelming there. It's just 126.7 0.46. Um, it is definitely not the most impressive strike rate to have, especially if you're playing in the modern day T20 game. You definitely have to be in 130 and 130, 135. But Chennai Super Kings have always relied on one batter to be that solid batter who's there to stabilize the entire innings, and of course others to play around him. Now let's talk about another player who had a very impressive season, but he was chopped and changed out of the 11 for the balance. It was Shivam Dube. Shivam Dube had an exemplary season. One of the best innings of his came up against his former franchise in Royal Challengers Bangalore in a game where they lost three quick wickets, where Shivam Dube and Robin Uthappa put on a spectacular stand where he scored close to 90 odd runs. And his strike rate was an impressive one. Shivam Dube is a very good player on tracks which offer bounce, and definitely most of the games, as definitely most of the games were played in Mumbai, Shivam Dube did come into party for Chennai Super Kings. And that's where you have to give credit to Shivam Dube as well. Now, Rayudu, a player who's always been there. Now, if we talk about Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai Indians, you will see one player which is common between them is Ambati Ryder. He has seen a lot of success as an IPL player. Now, one can say he's coming to the final end of his career. This is the latter end of his career where he sees that final stretch. What can Chennai Super Kings expect out of him? Last season, he had a decent season, middling season, but not as per Rayudu standards, having 400 odd run season where what he did have in 2018, 2019 as well. Our 274 odd run season, which was very underwhelming for a middle order bat like Rayudu, and also Devon Conway and Ali also was there in terms of contributing with the bat, but nothing very mind-boggling to say this batter went on to do majority of scoring to help Chennai Super Kings cross the line most of the times. And that was a difference. In 2021, you had two batters scoring in excess of 600 odd runs in Faf du Plessis and Ruturaj Gaikwad. And here you have a lot of batters scoring in less than 300 odd runs, which really put Chennai Super Kings in a lot of bother. And of course, with Dhoni not contributing like he was contributing in his initial years, that is a lot of issues as well for the Chennai Super Kings side, because then their lot of bulk of scoring, especially up front, relies on these batters, and finishing touches from Dhoni has not been the same. But they'll be hoping there is one last light left in Mahendra Singh Dhoni to give them that final touch and to help them really cross the line. Let's talk about Chennai Super Kings bowling, because we did speak about batting in depth, but let's understand where they went wrong when it comes to bowling, because there were some of the games where they considered a lot of runs. Primary reason, Deepak Chahar, who they bought for 14.5 odd crores, missing out of the 2022 IPL was a big blow for the team, because if you remember, Chennai Super Kings really wanted Deepak Chahar, and they went all guns blazing for Deepak Chahar to get him into the team, and they did get him into the team. And finally, what happened was they also let go of Shardul Thakur to Delhi Capitals last season. So, which meant they were struggling to find an Indian pacer there who could give them the 4 overs, maybe three up front and one in the middle over, and also pick up a couple of wickets up front to really break the top orders of most of the other teams. And that's something which they missed out of the Chennai Super Kings team. And what they went on to chase was to find a new bowler to replace Deepak Chahar. They did find a very good bowler in Mukesh Chaudhary rather, who really gave them that bang to pick up wickets up front towards the latter end of the games. Maybe he found his feet later in the IPL. Initially, he did go for a lot of runs, because IPL is such a tournament that if you are inexperienced and if the batters do sense that you're an inexperienced bowler, batters will come after you. He made his debut against the Lucknow Super Giants in the IPL, and where in that game, Chennai Super Kings, despite scoring 200 odd runs, they lost to brilliance of Evan Lewis, and Mukesh Chaudhary was taken to cleaners as well. But Mukesh Chaudhary did find his way, especially the game against Mumbai Indians, where he came out and picked up three wickets up front, really took Mumbai Indians to the cleaners with his brilliant swing bowling. Left arm swing ball and taking the ball in and away was magnificent as well. So Mukesh Chaudhary picking up 16 wickets, but he went for close to 10 runs per over. So that was one area which Chennai Super Kings really did miss, and also death ball. And Bravo obviously was towards latter end of his career, and you were taking the most out of him, and whatever you could get was just gold dust. And Bravo once again did step up whenever you asked him to step up, and he did pick up 16 wickets as well. A lot of those wickets did not come in effective course, one could say so. But Chennai Super Kings' biggest shining spot was definitely Mahesh Theekshana, the mystery spinner from Sri Lanka. There were a lot of controversy regarding his spot in the playing 11 due to a lot of political situation rather than his playing ability. But finally, when he started performing, a lot of people across the country did accept him, did find a reason why he's an effective bowler for some of the spinning conditions as well. He didn't make an instant difference. Mahendra Singh Dhoni loves his spinners. There is no doubt about it. When Mahendra Singh Dhoni is given spinners, he's like a man with a magic wand. He definitely knows how to control spinners, and he loves to play around with the spinners. And that is what was the difference with Chennai Super Kings of the previous eras and the Chennai Super Kings last time around. When Mahesh Theekshana came into the 11, definitely Mahendra Singh Dhoni found a player who could definitely make an instant impact, and he did make an instant. He did pick up 12 wickets alongside bowling with Moeen Ali, and Ravindra Jadeja did have injury towards the latter end as well, where he had to leave. Now, this season, right? Now, this all up to this season. Last season is done and dusted. Chennai Super Kings fans would like to forget two seasons. One in 2020, second in 2022. 2023 is a fresh start for this franchise. Definitely, they're coming back to Chepauk. Now, playing in Chepauk in itself is a task for a lot of traveling teams. Now, if we talk about some of the toughest places to play cricket in, is one of them is definitely Chepauk. Chennai Super Kings have had history of scoring just 140, 131s and bowling out teams in less than that. And that is the strength about Chepauk. When the crowd gets involved with the ball turning, it is then Chennai Super Kings true den, one can say so. Then there is only one master to that den. There's only one master who can really dictate the terms of that line. It is Mahendra Singh Dhoni who really dictates that term. Now that's where this season is all exciting for Chennai Super Kings. Let's understand what their squad is shaping up like. Before the start of the season, they've had one injury scare. That is Kyle Jamieson, who they bought from base price, is ruled out of the IPL. He has been having a horrific time since his last time he featured in IPL for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Now he's been a long miss. He definitely was not a sure starter, but now they brought in Sisanda Mangala from South Africa to replace him. Let's understand the playing 11, predicted playing 11 from as per what we think. Of course, Ruturaj Gaikwad is going to start for the Chennai Super Kings alongside Devon Conway, and Moeen Ali definitely will find a place in any team in the world for sure because of his all-round ability. Ambati Raidu once again playing in Chepauk. You need a player who can play spin well. Now, Ben Stokes, isn't it? What a accusation. He has been second highest accusation ever in IPL history. One of the biggest. I mean, he's a phenomenal all rounder. He can offer you with the ball, with the bat, possible future captaincy candidate, maybe manifesting something very early. But a player who's just coming off a great captaincy stint with the English national Test cricket team as well. A player who's got it in him, a player who's got the dog in him, one can say. So he can really take the opposition. He is a player who performs in some of the biggest moments, clutch player as one would like to define him as. Now he's part of the middle order for the Chennai Super Kings. It's going to be very interesting to see whether Ben Stokes plays at number 3 or Moeen Ali plays at number 5, because Ben Stokes in the T20 format prefers batting at the top of the order. Now Moeen Ali on the other end has been successful batting at number 3 for Chennai Super Kings. Both are left-handers, can use them both if need be. Or on occasions, Chennai Super Kings can go in with Ben Stokes as an opener. Now, that is something a lot of people might not have guessed about, but that is something which is certainly on the cards as well. Now, if you look at the Chennai Super Kings team, if you want to play an extra overseas seamer in the likes of Dwayne Pretorius, in that case, you can maybe do a straight switch with Devon Conway and Ben Stokes, and and Pretorius can come into the 11 straight for Devon Conway, and Pretorius can go in at number 7, number 8, and at the same time make Ben Stokes open the batting. That'll maybe sound like a batting team which is much more explosive than what it is right now on the paper, because when you have Ben Stokes opening the batting, giving him the power play, making him go out there to face the new ball, take the pace bowlers on, that's the most deadliest Ben Stokes you can get. And if you can get 2 to 3 overs with the ball as well, that's something which Mahendra Singh Dhoni loves. He loves his options. Whenever Mahendra Singh Dhoni is given with those options, then it's like a kid at the toy store. He loves to operate with them all and really confuse the opposition. That's why he's been one of the most successful captains in the history of the game, isn't it? So here is the biggest question for Chennai Super Kings: whether they open with Ben Stokes or whether they go in with three players from overseas in the top five. They have got either of the options to do it. So because Dwayne Pretorius in some of the pitches in Chennai where the ball is going to grip and turn, he has cutters, which Pretorius is predominantly known for, can come into play as well. That is where Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Chennai Super Kings will be super tempted to go in with someone like a Ben Stokes to open the batting and give him that freedom to open with someone like a Ruturaj Gaikwad and maybe bring in Moeen Ali at number 3, then Ambati Rayudu at number 4, Jadeja at 5, Dhoni at 6, or maybe Dubey at 6, Dhoni at 7, however it works for them, because this team has got a lot of options. That's the biggest and the best trait about the Chennai Super Kings lineup. Now, one bowler who's not really featured in this playing 11 who really impressed towards the latter end was Mahesh Patirana. Uh, how many of you remember him? Because he has been a bowler who was trying to replicate Malinga's action. He didn't make his IPL debut last season. He's not yet made a Sri Lankan debut, but definitely he's made an IPL debut right after his under 19 World Cup exploits in West Indies last season. So he did get that nod ahead towards the latter end, and he could be a feature into this 11 as well if need be on surfaces, which aids pace bowling or a wild card, or maybe as a tactical substitute on days if Chennai Super Kings decides to go in with 3 overseas players, and if they want to bring in a tactical sub, they can bring in Patirana as well. Because remember, this season is all about using the tactical substitutes to the best of its ability. Because and when Mahendra Singh Dhoni has got that card under his sleeve, you never know what is he going to be coming up with. So that is going to be very exciting for Chennai Super Kings fans and cricketing fans as well. How Chennai Super Kings and Mahendra Singh Dhoni are going to be using their tactical substitutes, and when are they going to be using it, and who is that substitute they have identified. Because there is a player named Rajvardhan Hungargekar who's an all-rounder who had an exemplary under-19 World Cup last time around in West Indies, similar to Patirana. He could be an option as well. So do let us know in the comments if you have anyone in the mind who Dhoni might use as tactical substitute. So, guys, this is the end of the Chennai Super Kings preview, because they have been a phenomenal team over the years. And once again, as they return back to their den, the expectations are high. And this team is definitely carrying a lot of expectation from the fans, the hopes, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni. We do not know if it's his last dance, because every time we expect this is his last dance, he goes on to have more dances, and he keeps on surprising us with his fitness. He's looking absolutely fit. The pictures are out. He's looking bulked up. He's looking raring to go for the IPL now. And that's the most exciting part. Thank you for watching this video. And we'll be coming back with more of these exciting previews as we head near to the IPL. We have done Gujarat Titans. If you haven't already watched the Gujarat Titans preview, do check out the Gujarat Titans preview. And as Chennai Super Kings will be playing Gujarat Titans in their opening match in the Narendra Modi Stadium, watch out for them, and hope this is going to be an exciting season for the Chennai Super Kings and for Mahendra Singh Dhoni as well. Thank you, and also subscribe to our channel, and have a good time, all of you.